I was wondering if you could just share some advice, that things that have worked for you, some guidance that you would give to those people who are studying history at school or at maybe undergrad.
The first thing is,
Yeah.
is try and read some stuff on the 17th century for fun. You know,
Yeah.
find something that sort of that appeals to you,
Yeah.
and just read it for fun. I think one of the most important things, and it's something that I failed with miserably at A level, it was don't put too much emphasis on learning all the facts. You know, you don't need to have an encyclopedic knowledge of the period. And I did this, and it's way more important to learn how to sort of think analytically
Yeah.
at A level, sort of come up with, and at undergrad level, and sort of come up with coherent arguments and reasoned conclusions. And the way to do that is essentially sort of practice writing questions.
Yeah.
I'd say another thing is, perhaps when you are sort of coming up with your sort of arguments, try not to sort of compartmentalize. I know the course is usually structured. I mean, mine was, I did AQA. The sort of course is structured between sort of politics, religion,
Yeah.
etc. But it's important to sort of emphasize how these were all sort of interconnected. Another tip is take advantage of free resources online.
Yeah.
Things like the Cromwell Association website's great. There's also a number of great documentaries online. There's this really good documentary. It's easily findable on YouTube from the 1990s on the Civil War, and it includes like all the great and the good of sort of Civil War scholars. Christopher Hill's in there, John Morrell, Blair Warden, and other sort of famous figures like Tony Benn, I think, features.
Right.
But also, even sort of more stuff that appeals to the sort of wider market. Shows like The Devil's Hall. I don't know if you ever seen that. It came on Channel 4 ages ago. It's widely inaccurate, but it helps you to sort of, if it helps you to get interested in the topic, then it's great. There's a movie I think called To Kill a King, which again I would sort of suggest watching, even if it's to just help sort of get an interest. And then I suppose one thing's on sort of language when it comes to answering essay questions, and it's sort of the emphasis try to sort of sound convincing and avoid phrases like could, should, and of course nuance is important, but at A level the emphasis is on sort of providing strong arguments, sort of backed up by sort of selective pieces of evidence, and basically showcasing your ability to sort of interpret the evidence effectively to support your argument. So that's what I would suggest as sort of for history students and A-level students, and even sort of undergrads to sort of bear in mind when answering questions.
Well, thank you so much, Waseem. That's just been absolutely fascinating and great to have your kind of insight on all these different aspects of history, the 1650s, studying at university, undergrad, masters, PhD, and your reading recommendations, as I say, will be in a PDF that we'll share in the description. So thanks so much for that. I really appreciate it, and I think it'll be really useful to lots of people. So thanks so much.
Oh, no worries. I was really glad to be a part of this. So yeah, thank you for inviting me.
Brilliant.